Before you take melatonin tonight, there's something you should know. If you're over 60 and a friend has told you that melatonin helped her sleep, then you might be thinking about trying it too. But if you take antidepressants, diabetes medication, or blood pressure medication, melatonin might not be as safe as you think. And the person who recommended it to you probably had no idea. Now I want to say something important right at the beginning. I'm not a medical professional, but I do spend a lot of time researching health topics, and I always check with my doctor before taking any over-the-counter medication or supplement. And when I started looking into melatonin, I discovered a few things that many older women simply aren't told. So before you buy that bottle of melatonin to help you sleep, there are a few things you really should know. Hello lovely ladies, welcome to my channel. If you're watching this video, chances are you've had a few nights where sleep just doesn't come easily. We've all experienced that, and you're definitely not alone. Many women over 60 find that falling asleep or staying asleep becomes more difficult with age. So when a friend says, just try melatonin, it works for me, it sounds like a simple solution. After all, melatonin is often described as natural and safe, but there are some important things to consider before taking it, especially if you're already managing certain health conditions and taking medications. What melatonin actually is? It's a hormone that your body naturally produces. It helps regulate sleep-wake cycles, basically telling your brain when it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. As we get older, our natural melatonin levels can decrease, which is one reason sleep can become more difficult for us. That's why melatonin supplements have become more popular. But here's the key point. Even though melatonin is natural, it still affects your body's chemistry, and that means it can interact with medications and medical conditions. If you take antidepressants, it could affect you. If you're taking antidepressants, melatonin may not always be the best choice without medical advice. Some antidepressants already affect the brain chemicals involved in sleep and mood. Adding melatonin can sometimes lead to things like excessive drowsiness, headaches, dizziness, changes in mood, and in some situations it may even interfere with how your medications work. That doesn't mean it'll happen to everyone, but it's definitely something that you should discuss with your doctor first. What about if you have diabetes? Another important group of people who should be cautious with melatonin are those living with diabetes. Some studies suggest melatonin may affect how the body handles blood sugar. For people who already need to carefully manage their blood glucose levels, this could potentially make things a little more complicated. Again, this doesn't automatically mean melatonin is unsafe for everyone with diabetes, but it does mean that it's wise to check with your healthcare provider before starting it. If you take blood pressure medication, many women over 60 are also taking medication for high blood pressure. Melatonin can sometimes affect blood pressure levels, and in certain situations, it may interact with blood pressure medications. With some people, it may lower blood pressure more than expected, while in others, it can interfere with certain medications. Because blood pressure control is so important for your heart and your brain health, it's always best to speak to your doctor before adding melatonin as a supplement. The reason so many friends recommend melatonin is simple. For some people, it really does help them sleep. And because it's available over the counter, people often assume it's completely harmless. But our bodies are all different. Our friends' medications, health conditions, and hormone levels may be very different from yours. So what works well for her may not necessarily be the best choice for you. If sleep has become a problem, the best first step is often to speak to your doctor or your pharmacist. They might look at things like the medication timing, your caffeine intake, your sleep habits, any underlying conditions such as sleep apnea as an example. Sometimes a simple adjustment can make a big difference. But if a supplement is appropriate, your doctor can recommend the safest option and the correct dose for you. Sleep is incredibly important for your health and your well-being. And if you're struggling with sleep, you deserve a solution that's safe and right for your body. So before taking melatonin, just because someone recommended it, take a moment to have a conversation with your doctor. That small step can make a big difference. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and even consider subscribing. I share information designed to help women over 60 make informed choices about health, well-being, and everyday life. And if sleep is something you struggle with, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what has helped you. From me, big hugs as always, and sleep well tonight.